Hello, Spice Girls and Spice Boys and other Spice people. I don't know. Welcome to what I'm sure will be a weird episode of Creative Differences. I'm Dallas. I think maybe I should just stop watching 80s movies for a while.
I'm Colin, and I need any of the Dune trailers, because there are a few, cut with, Spice Up Your Life. Because, why did they not integrate any Spice Girls music into this?
You spice up your life? Never mind, I'll ask questions later.
And I'm Demi, and Gabby, where are you? You're supposed to be doing these so that, I can sit off to the side. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Throwback Thursdays, and Fancast Fridays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today we are discussing Dune, the 1984 version, in anticipation of Dune.
You're going to say it as much as Paul does in the movie.
Dune.
But Dune.
But Dune.
Also, we're not doing Dune.
Right. Next week we're doing Dune.
Right. Based on Dune, which we're not doing.
Which is based on Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the new one is based on Dune, but that's not based on anything else.
I don't think so.
What?
We're all lost now.
Yeah.
We're all lost.
Dune. Yeah.
Subscribe, guys.
Subscribe, please, because I put myself through this movie for y'all, and I deserve something for it.
Guys, we do this for you.
This is for you, the people. We love you. Out here fighting for my life watching this nonsense.
Oh my God.
Also, Gabby, bro, where are you? At this point, I think Gabby is a recurring guest. Is that a thing we can do?
I think that might.
Yeah.
You recast her with me? Is that what happened?
Demi is now main cast, and Gabby is recurring guest star.
Yeah,
Soon to be a
how long has
cameo.
it been since we had Gabby in an
Yeah,
episode?
we're really
I
getting
think
into
three
the
episodes ago. She was here for one of the Venoms. I think the Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, we're really getting
okay.
into the with Gabby territory.
Yeah. Creative Differences featuring Gabby.
All right, anyway, the first question of the day, which is not going to take us too much time, because the question is, when was the first time you guys ever watched this movie? And the answer is just this past week.
Oh, yeah.
For all of us.
2 days ago.
Yep.
Yesterday. Well, that answered that question.
Cool.
So,
Love it.
Story. What did you guys think of the story?
Well, let's give credit where credit is due, or assign blame, however we want to say.
Yeah.
It.
Mm-hmm.
It is written and directed by David Lynch, who created Twin Peaks. He made Eraserhead. He made Mulholland Drive, among other things. You know David Lynch. He's that weird dude who makes weird stuff. It stars Kyle MacLachlan, Virginia Madsen, Sting, Francesca Annis, Patrick Stewart's in there. I didn't know what order to list these people, because outside of Kyle MacLachlan, I don't know who's who and whose roles are the most important.
Yeah. If you'd asked me beforehand, I could have told you, but whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I did want to make sure I mentioned Virginia Madsen, because Kayla was watching it with me.
Who's Virginia Madsen?
The princess from the beginning, who's just a long time ago in a galaxy
She's the
far,
narrator.
far away.
Oh.
Yeah. Because Kayla was like, that looks like the woman from Candyman.
Oh.
I was like, oh, it kind of does. It is. It's the woman from Candyman. Same lady.
Look at that.
Shout out to Virginia Madsen. Anyway, the summary, according to IMDb, because I didn't know what was going on, it says, a Duke's son leads desert warriors against the Galactic Emperor and his father's evil nemesis to free their desert world from the Emperor's rule. Is that what happens?
That is what happens, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't
couldn't tell you.
put that as the. I guess you could put it
That's
as
what
the summary.
happens. That's what
No,
happens.
I
I
don't-
don't know that I would put that as the summary, because I feel like you're not going into the book. You don't know that that's where it's gonna go.
Well, yeah, but that's not.
Are you saying it's not spoilery?
A little bit,
Is it?
I don't know.
I would say a little
That's
bit.
the plot. That's what happens.
Yeah, you gotta
Right,
get
but
a
I
plot.
mean, I don't know.
Speaking of the story, what did you guys think of the story? Because Dallas clearly didn't understand what was happening.
Well, I can't blame him. Here's the thing. I read 400 pages of the 500-page book. So I understood what was going on in the terms of okay, now they're going here. Now this is happening. Oh, they just found out about that. So now this is I got it. I understood it. It was not presented in a way that made it easy to understand.
No,
I'll say that.
it sure wasn't.
And I think if I hadn't had any idea what was going on, I wouldn't have had any idea what was going on.
I sure didn't.
I feel like the oddball out, because I understood what was going on, even though I had no idea anything about Dune. I was like, okay, I have a general understanding of what we're doing. All right, cool.
And in fairness, if I was trying harder, which is never something I should have to say for a movie, it's not an algebra class, but if I was trying to really focus on it, I would have, focused on it. But you can only throw so many, I don't want to say made up words, because whenever you say made up words, somebody's like, all words are made up. Ha ha ha, I'm smart. But Yes, all words are made up.
Words are a construct.
But when I mean made up words, I mean words that like Dune made up.
World
and
building
aren't
rules.
defined.
I think the book has its own glossary.
It might be one of those.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it explains them well enough that I know what they are.
And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So when you start just throwing out random person, place, and things for me that I've never heard in my life, but you don't try to tell me what they are or what they mean. I'm just like, who is this man? And who's this uglier man in the fish tank with the vagina mouth?
Yeah, I don't know what that. I can't help you there. I don't know
It's like
what
the beginning of the movie.
I know.
I was lost already.
And it comes back later, and I don't know why.
I think what's interesting is that the movie does try to explain a lot of things, like a lot, but then the things that need to be explained get like no explanation whatsoever.
Right. They'll explain things like how a character is feeling at any given time.
Oh man.
Because that's what we needed. I need an explanation for.
Okay, to be fair, I'm going to give them one of them. And that is when Paul and his mom are flying away from the Atreides place and she's having a time and he's just like, nothing. I wanted that explained because what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, why do you not have feelings?
Right?
For me, and it was funny because I actually, when the movie first started, I really liked the inner voice stuff. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Okay, this is different. But then it kept going throughout the movie, and I was like, I'm tired. I can definitely tell by the look on your face what's going on inside of you emotionally. So I don't need the inner voice every single time we need to explain a thought. But yeah, for me, the story, I like this. I don't want us to spend the whole podcast freaking trashing this movie.
I'm sorry. Did you think I was trashing this movie? I love this movie.
Colin loves this movie.
I think this movie is incredible.
I like the story. I am a sucker for prophetic hero stories. I really enjoy that type of stuff. But yeah, I think I agree on the execution portion. I'm like, I'm not so much a fan of that. And it's not even like I don't actively dislike this movie. I just like, I feel like I'm very indifferent. I'm just like, okay, cool. There are things about it that I like, and there are things about it that I don't like.
Also, I want to give a disclaimer because we preach positivity here.
We
and
do.
Usually it's very easy to be positive. We haven't talked about a movie I've disliked in quite a while. But I just want to say,
Yes.
if you like this movie,
Mhm.
do not take anything I'm saying as an attack
Mm-hmm.
because I know how much it sucks to listen to people trash things that you like. It's not fun. I think it might help if you know that whenever I dislike a movie, I'm not saying that the movie is bad or objectively,
Bad.
not good. It's just, it's not for me. Compatibility, we don't got it. So just know everything I'm saying comes through the filter of it ain't my cup of tea, but I'm not saying that you or your taste are bad. That being said, I think part of the reason why
You do not.
I didn't
rock with
get
this
a
movie?
whole understanding of the story, I turned this movie off after an hour and a half.
Oh no.
Why? It's
Okay, when dude with the barnacle face
Yeah.
started talking
Harkonnen, yeah,
about milking a cat,
yeah.
that was it for me.
Okay,
I almost
that's-
cut it off when he spit on that girl's face. When he spit on
Okay,
that woman's
So you
face.
saw the message I sent in the
I
chat,
did,
right?
and I almost wrote, that's when I gave up.
See, to me, the spit is fine because that was the point. Was like I can dehumanize you, blah blah blah. That
I just
wanna
didn't want to
see
see it.
the cat milking was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me set a scene for you guys in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Because that sounds weird. And it was. He walks into a room with a cat in his hand. And he goes up to the pair of eyebrows sitting in the bondage chair. And then he says verbatim. There are other words as well. But this part is what made me turn it off. By milking this smooth little cat's body, you receive your antidote. And I thought, that's enough. All right, I'm going to head out.
Okay, but on a very quick note, why did that man take the eyebrows from everybody else? Like the Bene Gesserit have no like body hair. He took all of it to make his eyebrows. Like
Right.
what happened?
You could make a weave out of that nigga's eyebrow. He just going to sit there with all that eyebrow and not give none to nobody?
How heavy was it? Like when he blinks, does he just keep his eyes shut for a while because they're hard to open again?
How can they open?
All right. Well, I feel like that's the story portion. Dallas didn't understand the story. I thought the story was cool, but I just didn't feel that the execution was quite well done. And Colin, I don't know. What is your feeling on the story exactly?
Okay. See, the story of the movie is the story of the book. I don't like Chosen One stories. I get really bored by them. And
This is where me and Colin differ.
yeah, and especially one where he ends up not just being the chosen one, but like the Messiah. I'm like, shut up, calm down. You're just some dude who stuck his hand in a box, like
The pain box.
the pain box.
Not a
But
fun
then
box.
he's got to go save the
Well,
brown
he
people
also
from
drank
themselves.
the poison water.
He
and
did
lived.
drink the water of life. I get it. Yada yada.
Oh, that's right. Dallas
is that
didn't
after the
get
cat?
to yeah.
The cat
Dallas
milking?
didn't get that part.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
You may have heard them talk about the water of life.
Sure.
It's a thing.
I saw some shots of a puddle
It's a thing that like
in some dream
the
sequences.
women, the Bene Gesserit can drink, but if men drink it, they like die. But Paul didn't because he's Jesus, and
Okay.
He's the chosen one,
Um,
Dallas.
Also,
that was
think it
like
might
a
be-
loading screen face.
that's the face I watched the whole movie with. I feel like there might be a little bit of, I don't want to say like it's misrepresentation to say that I didn't understand the movie at all. It was just my eyes kind of glazed over often. But I think I got the general, Barnacle face and his boys are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barnacle Boy, Mermaid Man, and then Sting playing Carrot Top. They're all bad, and obviously so. They're like psychopaths.
Yeah.
And then Paul Alchemedes or whatever his name is, he's the white savior.
There are no
Um,
people of color in this movie, so I don't know how.
That's true. Yeah, the white savior thing comes more
The
with
Fremen are
Denise'
supposed
version.
to be brown.
Oh, the blue-eyed people.
Yeah. Well, they're like Well, it's even if they're not brown, they're the indigenous people, and he has
Right.
to-
Got it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, there are no people. There's not one.
yeah, he's like the chosen one. They bring him in. He's his dad is what's his dad's name?
Leto.
Jared Leto. Leto. There it is.
Yeah.
And then his dad's important. Patrick Stewart is like, we got to protect you, your dad. Yeah. And
Well,
then dad dies.
since we're talking about it, let's just talk about these characters.
Let's talk about this character.
Okay, first off the top, here's a problem that I have with Dune. Take, for example, Star Wars. Every name in Star Wars is ridiculous,
Yo.
and that's fine.
Yo.
100% fine. Here's my problem with Dune. You have some names like Fade Routha. The fuck does that mean? I don't know. And then you got Paul.
Bro,
you got Jessica.
I
You
wrote
got
that
my
down.
favorite, Duncan, Idaho. No
Freaking
bitch.
when Duncan came in,
Duncan,
and they're
Idaho.
like,
Yo, this my nigga Billy, Massachusetts. No.
they're like Sesame, Gleep Glorp, Duncan. Like what? Bro, when Jessica's Paul's mom, right?
Yeah.
When I found out this nigga's mom's name was Jessica, I was like, Jessica?
Yeah.
We're running around with niggas named Glup Shitto and I Love McConan, and you're talking about his mom's name is Jessica?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, why is his name Paul?
Also, just the savior of the universe is named Paul.
How did that name?
It's funny though because we were mentioning Star Wars, and I'm like, guys, the lead in Star Wars is Luke. I
forget that because you've
They're like
also got
Melvin.
like Boba. He's a drink. Like I'm not.
Right, we got Luke and Ben and stuff, but it's just
but at least the last name is Skywalker. So
right. This movie.
One
it
character's
takes
name
place
is
in, like,
Mon Mothma. That just sounds like a brand name of mothballs. I don't.
right. It's a Godzilla monster.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, like Paul, Jessica,
Leto.
Glabnax,
Duncan.
Buzz Lightyear. Like, yo, you gotta pick a
All right.
vibe.
Out
These
ba-
names.
okay, away from the names real quick though, but the actual characters themselves. So I'm crying from laughter, guys.
Paul seems fine. He thinks a lot. They
I
all
like-
think a lot.
I like Paul. I like Kyle MacLachlan's portrayal of Paul. It's weird because for me, Kyle MacLachlan is Daisy Johnson's dad on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He
Oh, I didn't
shouldn't
know
be
that.
this young.
I'm like, oh my goodness, you're so young.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like his performance. I would say that the acting in this movie is well done, considering what the material is that they're being given.
Ooh.
Colin, thoughts?
Ooh.
Listen, I don't
Okay.
have a complaint with anybody's
Look
performance in
at-
this movie.
Anything going on anytime it cuts to the Harkonnens, and say that again.
Are the Hakonans the Barnacle people?
They're the
Mhm.
crazy ones.
Right.
They're
There's
acting
crazy,
crazy.
and then there's like overacting.
That was
and I
bad.
feel like when you're going around in circles just laughing, you're
Like,
overacting
I think
a bit.
Sting, he was like literally insane, and he was acting insane. So I'm like, yo, I rock with it. You're doing your thing. What's the main bad guy?
Baron Harkonnen?
Baron.
Yeah, Baron.
Vladimir is his first name, if you
Vlad.
want
His
it.
name is Vladimir.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got Vladimirs up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I was just like, yo, what's happening? He's like, I get to spit on your face.
They were
Like,
they were crazy, bro. They were people I would not want to mess with. I was like, I believe you. I don't want to mess with you. Please.
I just didn't want to look at him. I was like, get on my camera.
Good.
Your ugly ass face.
I'm
off my
sure that was
screen.
the
All right,
point.
calm down.
And then we got Patrick Stewart, who I was surprised to see. I didn't know Patrick
Right.
Stewart was in this movie.
It's funny because we're talking about Kyle MacLachlan looks so young, and Patrick Stewart just always look the same.
Yeah.
This movie is
The only difference between this and like Picard was long hair.
40 years old. That man was born 45. I refuse to believe he's ever been a child. Because it's like Patrick Stewart. The same Patrick Stewart that we have.
Mind you, guys, we
I feel
all
like
we love Patrick Stewart.
He's in
Shout
a
out
Get Out
Patrick Stewart.
situation or something.
Professor X is the man. He's just
Yeah, shout out to Patrick Stewart, man. He's been doing it for 40 to 80 years.
guys. This episode is just gonna be a lot of jokes.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite kind of episode.
Because this movie is a joke.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Don't say that.
It
No.
is. I'm laughing. I'm laughing with it, but it's a good one. Like, it's a
You're
good joke.
laughing at it, Colin.
Oh, it,
The
yeah.
movie's not a comedy.
Okay, that's I don't know, man. I don't know. Milking the cat?
Okay, like,
That's
it's not even funny. It's
You
just
don't-
disturbing. I never write milking a cat into your script.
Anyway,
Milk
yeah.
his cat. People don't milk cats.
You know what I was disappointed with? So because I'm looking forward to the upcoming Dune. It's coming out tonight, tomorrow, whenever you guys decide to,
Right.
Yeah.
whatever. Whenever you guys, if you go see Sneaks or whatnot. Chani, I expected her to be a bigger part of the movie.
Is
And
Chinese
she's-
Zendaya's character?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's not
No.
in the OG movie. at all.
Also, they do some weird things with time. Like, he meets her, and then we cut to 2 years later. They've been together. Jessica had her kids. Like, we could have
Is
seen
that what happened? I was very confused.
Oh, there was a time skip because Alia was not born,
Well,
and then
I
they were like, oh, and
figured her-
then 2 years passed. And,
I figured there had to be a time skip because Aaliyah was there.
yeah, they
But
narrated
I was
it.
like, who is this child?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It was
When
in the
did we-
narration. They say something like, 2 years passed, and Paul and Johnny fell more in love, and also his sister was born, and some other stuff happened. And
I missed all of that.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Was that after the milking cat?
I think so.
yes.
Okay, cool.
Maybe this book was just not meant to be one movie.
Well, the thing is, it could be if you truncated a lot of the. Okay, the thing is, it's a 500-ish page book. The really cool stuff, like the "oh no, we're under attack" stuff, and the what blah blah blah, is like 300 pages in. So, like, if you truncate a lot of the beginning, you could make this one movie and it would work. We don't need a ton of shit about Arrakis because ultimately it's about Paul. Arrakis is important in terms of it's where you get the spice, but do we need to know everything about it? No.
That is interesting because when we got to about 22 minutes in, I think I had to pause it so I could go put like a bowl in the kitchen or something. And like that was the moment where I think 22 minutes in is when Jessica goes to talk to the Reverend Mother and she was like chastising her for having a son. And I was like, wait, we're 22 minutes in?
I remember that. She was saying, like, you should have had a daughter or something.
She was supposed to have a daughter. Yes.
Is
She
that a
was
thing
supposed
that
to
they can
only
do?
have daughters.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know.
Can they pick that?
Maybe the Bene
Well,
Gesserit can.
No, it's mentioned in the narration when the movie starts is that they were only supposed to have daughters.
Right.
And then she ended up having a son because Leto wanted a son. And
Right.
so
Yeah, I think the
but
question is
because-
what happens with the how did
My
they
question is, can Jessica make herself have
Yeah.
a daughter when she's
Did they
oh,
end
like
up
it's some
near-
magically
Can
like
she be like,
magical
daughter.
choice. I don't know.
what was that motion?
it's like magic. I don't know. No one who's listening can see
Can
it, so
see
it's
it.
fine.
It doesn't
It
matter.
was very aggressive, so I was
I
concerned.
assume you have to be pretty aggressive when you're changing the sex of your baby.
That's fair, yeah.
Just
I don't know.
taking-
It's sci-fi. Maybe
Maybe
they
she
have
just magic it.
chemicals or something to
just
change
grabbing
it.
chromosomes.
I don't know.
Get that Y.
She has magic. Who knows?
This entire character section has gone off the rails. I don't think we have much more to say about
This
this
movie
character.
wasn't on the rails.
That's true. Everything about this is off the rails.
I feel bad
But,
for David Lynch because this definitely was not the movie he was trying to make.
Unless it was, and
No, he's talked about it a lot. He
Oh.
does not acknowledge this film.
Oh, cool. I don't feel bad at all. 'Cause I don't want to, tear down someone's art that they cared about deeply. But if you don't like it, I ain't got to like it, David.
I think they've made like several different versions of this film.
They
Some of
have.
which that they haven't put his name on it.
Right. They put like a pseudonym on
Yeah.
for all the
Right.
other directors. It's like Alan something.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't. He doesn't like this
Wow.
movie that much.
Damn.
I feel it, David. I don't like it either. But yeah, well, she was yelling at Jessica like, you should have had a daughter. Like,
Was
Ow.
that up to her, right?
I had a baby. He's a boy. What do you want me to do?
Came out a boy.
Right. Sorry. Had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. So
You missed.
Upon release, Lynch disowned the final film, stating that pressure from both producers and financiers restrained his artistic control and denied him final cut privilege. At least 3 versions have been released worldwide. In some cuts, Lynch's name is replaced in the credits with the name Alan Smithy, a pseudonym used by directors who wished not to be associated with a film for which they would normally be credited.
Oh, it's like a specific one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alan Smithy.
Wow.
They're all like,
That's
we're
how much he does not like this movie.
Spartacus.
I
I'm
don't
Alan
understand
Smithy.
that. I feel like he should be proud of it. But hey, we're different people.
Also, considering how strange his art usually is,
Mhm.
I gotta wonder how far he was gonna take this. This movie's already super weird,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the version that the studios were like, "Hey, David, chill, man." Like they stopped his vision. This was the studio, like the watered down version.
I think it's interesting though because most of his stranger works are like really well received.
Yeah, they're acclaimed.
Yeah,
So I feel
Twin
like
Peaks.
if
I hear
you're-
nothing but great things about
Yeah,
Twin
if
Peaks.
you get David Lynch, you got to just let him be his version of weird. Because if you try to water it down, then you just get like a watery.
Where were you gonna take that?
I don't know,
Yeah.
watery cat milk.
Ah,
Like I feel like he would have milked that cat on camera.
it's a watery, it's a watery desert.
Yeah.
Well, no, watery desert is fine.
Also, Arachnid is Dune, right? That's the name of the-
Arrakis is Dune.
Yeah.
Arrakis.
that's what I
Yeah.
said.
Arachnid.
Yeah, it's also known as Dune for some reason.
Okay.
Well, speaking
It's
of
like a nickname.
Dune and planets, visuals and sound. What do you guys think?
I wrote down so many of these characters look gross and I hate it.
Yeah,
That's mostly the Barnacle people, the I Love McConans.
the thing is, I almost prefer this to whatever the new one's going to be because I went into this movie ready to have a good time, and as soon as they brought out the shields and they were just brown blocks, I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When Patrick Stewart came out. When 2019 Patrick Stewart came out in this movie and put up that little Windows screensaver shield. I was almost like, nah, I can't do it. This is not. What am I supposed to be doing?
See, that was when I was all in. Like, this could not get any
Like,
better.
No, the shield.
And
So,
comparatively,
For
they
me, that was the moment where my brain tried to start processing. I literally went to look up how much this movie was made for.
Mm-hmm.
It was made on a budget of $40 million, and it came out in 1984. In comparison, Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi came out in 1983
Episode 6?
and cost, yes,
God, they were 3 in by then?
yeah, and it cost $32.75 million or something like that. So almost $10 million less, and it just looks better.
Kayla asked her, she was like, this is before Star Wars?
It's
I was
not-
like, no, this is 84.
It's after Star Wars, and I couldn't figure out why it.
that is what strange is like. Star Wars is clearly influenced by the novel Dune. There's a lot
It
of
is. It's well known.
So then, how the fuck, when you're adapting one of the things that inspired Star Wars and is considered one of the greatest sci-fi novels of all time, you got this like brown polygon?
It feels like this is one of those situations where, since Lynch was complaining about producers and financiers, it feels like, we talk a lot about studio interference nowadays.
Oh, yes.
So it's like the studio wanted their own Star Wars,
Mm.
and they tried to make David Lynch make them
A
their
Star
own
Wars.
Star Wars, and it did not go the way they planned.
No.
Which is interesting to me because if I were a studio exec and I were thinking I want my own Star Wars, you know that especially at the time this was made, there's got to be 1,000 different people writing their own Star Wars because Star Wars had just come out and it's the new hotness, so to speak. So it's
Yeah.
like, just get one of those. Like if that's what you want, it wouldn't be hard to find. Why did you pick this? And why'd you pick David Lynch? And then why'd you not let him do what he wanted to do? Like, it's just, why not just pick somebody who's going to make exactly what you want?
But yeah, it was just interesting to me because I was like, the production value on this, despite being more expensive than Star Wars, does not look better than the OG Star Wars, which are older
Nah.
movies.
It's because they had to spend all their money on like the creepy alien in the beginning with the weird mouth or whatever,
Hated
That's
that.
fair.
or like Baron Harkonnen's face.
Yeah, didn't like that either. You could have saved that money. And the the I Love McConans, they have like herpy lips. Is that part of the spice mutation?
No, the spice
No.
mutation is just the,
The
eyes.
blue eyes.
What?
The people whose eyes were completely blue.
No, I get that. But
Yeah.
like, that's all it does?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it gives you
'Cause
powers and
I
stuff.
was
but
sure that
in terms
like
of physical, yeah, it just does the
The-
eyes.
scary looking people were mutated for
No, because then you saw the Freemen and they weren't,
They lived
and
there.
they've been living with the spice forever.
Freeman of the Blue.
The
Blue eyes.
indigenous
Got it.
people, yeah, Chani and them.
I will say though,
Johnny.
the worms look good in this movie.
Yo, the worms look real good.
Yo, Shout out to that Alaskan bullworm. That was a pretty cool scene.
Thank you. I sent that gift.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, when we were watching it, I sent the Alaskan bullworm gift. It's like, yeah.
As soon as the worm showed up, I just I like disassociated from the movie, and like in my head I was watching SpongeBob.
Yeah, 100%.
So I was just like, we have the scene's happening, and then
What if we take Arrakis and push it somewhere else?
we're just getting like Kyle MacLachlan staring at Jessica, and his inner voice is saying like, man, I don't care about my dad or whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm just thinking, so this is the tongue, and the whole thing is the worm, and like, ain't nothing too big or too ornery
For Paul to catch.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking.
but-
And on repeat was just Sandy and SpongeBob dialogue. And I
That's
looked up and
hilarious.
I was like, what happened?
That is one thing is I do think the worms in this one look just more interesting than the worms in the new one.
Interesting.
Worm in the new one is just a big hole. This one's got like sections. It's cool.
I mean,
mean,
we've
hey.
only seen like one shot of the worm so far. And
True, but it's a money shot of the worm, and it's just a
When
big
he shot that big hole. Huh?
hole. Yeah.
Well, it's its mouth. It's trying to eat him. So
It's a big mouth.
Well, no, I mean it's not trying to eat him. I think is the point. I think it's like holy shit, he can control the worm.
oh, that's fair.
Oh, is that
That
what
was gonna be my other name was Fat Boy Slim
Fat Boy Slim.
because Weapon of Choice makes Dune references. So
Oh, you said you had something to ask me specifically about Dune.
Alia, witch baby.
He didn't make it to that
I
part.
didn't make it to Alia.
You didn't make it.
Does he or she look like a witch baby?
Oh, honey, she
Oh,
is a witch.
The eye. Oh,
It was not just that she looks like, but she is a witch. And
She's
there's
a
a
witch.
point.
oh, right. Because are
Her.
the Benny and the Jets, they're witch people?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she is a witch person. And the
Got it,
thing
got it.
is, she's like 2. And there's a point that you didn't get to where she's like talking to, I think, the Emperor, trying to basically threaten him.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes from like this really high, sort of weird, reedy voice to like a demon voice in the next line. And it's, oh my God.
It's funny because I do remember Jessica and Paul using the
The voice.
the
The
deep
Call it
voice.
the voice.
Yeah,
Yes.
using the voice. And it's funny given the conversation we were having off mic because it's just like a cupcake song. He's like, let us go. And then, let my mother go. And it's just like that cupcake song that we're not going to name on here. But yeah, the Alaskan bullworm is cool. The shields were ridiculous. They should just give them like cardboard.
Like an actual shield, maybe.
Yeah, you could make a shield. They made so much stuff for this movie.
It's so crazy. I'm reading like little excerpts from reviews of this movie back when it first came out, and they are so harsh.
Oh.
Somebody said it's physically ugly. It's just like, oh my God.
I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
that's the thing is when I say a movie's ugly, it's not always a negative thing because there are movies like this one and like there are parts of Mad Max Fury Road where you look at what's his name? Big Scary,
Yeah.
the face and the
Yeah.
mask. Oh, he's ugly.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is ugly on purpose. Like they're supposed to look ugly. Like the I Love McConans are supposed to look ugly.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
So-
what are you calling them?
I Love McConan.
What is that?
I Love McConan is the singer who made the song "Going Up on a Tuesday" with Drake.
Oh,
On a Tuesday.
wow,
Yeah.
okay.
I Love McConan.
Hmm.
Yeah, some stuff is just supposed to look ugly. Like the stuff that's not supposed to be ugly, I don't think is ugly in this movie. Space looks nice enough. The freaking
The environments look cool.
yeah, the blue eyes are blue. They got the color right.
I love all the desert stuff.
Yeah, the desert looks like a desert.
But then I see like spaceships, and I'm just like, literally, we had Death Stars like a year before this.
I mean, hey,
We had Death Stars 7 years before this. Star Destroyer 7 years before
Yeah.
this.
not everybody got Star Destroyer money. I guess
They had more.
they did.
You're
I don't
right.
know what happened. But what they spend the money on. Also, unrelated to any category, Paul has a pug, and I thought that was interesting. Just
Wait,
because
what?
Paul, he has a pug.
He does?
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, he's holding a pug,
I don't remember that at all.
I don't either. Wow.
and Kayla was like, "Is that a pug?" And I was thinking, like, it's the year 10,000.
Sure, we have dogs.
Pugs are not gonna survive.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean because they might actually because some people are breeding them to be less.
Less dead.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like I saw pictures just the other day of like pugs that look more like actual dogs.
Oh,
It's really nice.
that's good. I was
So
worried. I was
maybe-
like, yo, I don't think pugs are gonna make it to 2030.
I was more concerned about the woman in that scene who had like the top of her head shaved, but not all of it. Did you notice that?
I remember someone with the haircut like that, but I think that
Yeah.
might have been a recurring haircut.
It
yeah,
was a
it
recurring
was a
haircut.
recurring haircut.
Yeah, because when dude used the cupcake voice on
It
the
just
chip, the guy
shocked
he was talking
me.
to had that.
It was like
George
they took
Jefferson.
a razor, started like a third back on the head, and just like it's like it was the kind of haircut that you see like in a cartoon when somebody gets a really bad haircut and like they have to
Yeah.
fix it or something. Yeah, It was that.
And you hear the barber go, "Oh no."
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
So many choices. So visuals and sound. Sound includes the inner voice, right?
Oh, well, I have one more thing to say about the
honey.
visuals.
Oh, cool.
So, if I manage to separate the fact that Star Wars came out before this, I do like, there is something about the visuals that I do kind of like, which is that it does bring this. Well, I mean, it was made in the 80s, but it brings like this feeling of like those old sci-fi TV shows and stuff. Like if you watch like old episodes of Doctor Who, like it kind of looks like that. Which
Okay.
I'm not mad about that. I think that's cool. I just don't think that that's what they were going for. But like I do like having that reminiscent feel because there's something really fun about that. But yeah, that's as far as it goes. I kind of like the costuming here too, actually.
I think I don't think any of the costuming like offended me.
Yeah,
I would
Like,
hope
alright.
it worked.
Paul looks like a military dude.
He does.
He has, like,
I thought the
ROTC
desert
outfit on.
suits were actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This movie has redeeming things.
Yes.
Listen, I know why y'all are down on it. This movie slaps.
I'm not
I'm
down
glad
on
you
it.
liked it. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself.
I'm legitimately trying to find like all the things that I liked about this movie, which like
Was
See,
it the inner
that's
voice?
thing.
Was that it? Did you like the inner voice?
I'm not sure if I liked the voice used for the inner voice, but I do like the idea of the voice.
I feel like my problem with
Wait, time out. Because when you say
Oh
the
wait,
voice,
no, you mean inner like their actual
I mean
their
thoughts.
thoughts.
Yeah, not
I mean,
the
them
Oh, okay. Like I
them
said
thinking into a
earlier, I
microphone.
liked those at the jump, like
Right,
when the
right,
movie
right.
first started, because I was like, oh, this is different. This is interesting. You know, every so often you get an inner thought. That's cool, and like getting more insight into different characters because it's not just one. It's not just Paul. We're getting into his mom's thoughts and like his dad's thoughts and all that stuff. And then after a while, it was exhausting.
It was so exhausting. It got to a certain point when Paul is in a room by himself, and that little
The thing tries to kill him.
space shank comes into the room, and his inner voice is whispering,
Well, yeah,
and I'm
it
like,
can't be too loud.
"Nigga, you're alone in this room. Why are you whispering in your head?"
But all of the inner voices are
Who's gonna
whispers.
hear you? But sometimes they just speak, like in the cat milking scene, after they leave Eyebrows in his bondage chair. He's like, Baron or Duke.
Baron, I think.
Well,
Who
he's
is he
thinking
he's thinking about her.
about how he
Leto?
failed. I think
Right,
Leto,
yeah.
So he's like, Jared Leto, I failed you. But I think he's just talking. Like there are points when they just speak, and I remember because I was looking up, and I'm like, wait, are they talking or are they thinking? But then, yeah, and like that Space Shank part of the movie is a lot of just whispering thoughts. And I'm just like,
Which feels like if you
are
had
you
taken
whispering
this
your
out,
thoughts?
you're kind of ruining the suspense of the scene because now we're just listening to his thoughts throughout the scene.
yeah, I don't want to hear his thoughts. There's certain points when it seems more useful than others.
Yeah.
But then there are other points when it just
I like
you're
it.
looking at the planet and they're like, Dune. Like, nigga, I don't need you to think Dune or Arrakis. I know where you are.
Yeah, I liked it at certain points, and then I didn't like it at
It's
others.
so silly.
So, favorite parts of this movie. Dallas, try hard.
Colin, you start.
What I mean, all of it. I think the part where we just like completely lost it collectively as the three of us were watching it was the tooth.
Okay,
Just-
so you were saying that, and I think I might have missed that, or I didn't make it. That
How did you miss it? They said it 20 times
The tooth
within the
scene
span of
or-
like a minute.
the freaking poison tooth.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
just the way that
tooth.
they kept saying it, I couldn't take it. It was
yeah,
so
I
good.
forgot about that. I think I blocked it out. The tooth. It's in the tooth. Bite down on the tooth. The tooth. Get him to come close and then bite the tooth. The tooth. And then he freaking messed it
It's
up.
also like he's not gonna forget it. You jam the thing into his mouth, like
And it probably hurt
you
too.
performed impromptu surgery. He's not gonna forget that you did
A
that.
super efficient surgery though. You're just like, all right, out
Yank
and
and
in.
in.
Like,
Yeah, I
yo,
don't think it works that easily.
they got
but
that
hey,
future dentistry.
right? That
Tooth.
10,000 dentistry.
To me, favorite thing.
Probably Kyle MacLachlan's performance as Paul Atreides. I really do like his performance.
No.
I'm gonna say
Uh-huh.
my favorite thing
Yeah.
about this movie
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
the
Why are you like SpongeBob writing an essay?
what I learned in boating school is Okay, so I'm gonna list things I don't dislike.
Ooh.
The space vibes. I'm rocking with it. Like I said, everything that doesn't look disgusting looks cool.
Yeah.
Except for that shield. But like the ships, the suits, the sand,
The worm.
the Alaskan bullworm was pretty cool. I rock with that. I like that this movie taught me that Patrick Stewart has had the same face since the early 80s. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that there movie.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to
Exactly
what
how
we are
cool Spectre.
anticipating from the new version of Dune, which is being directed by Denis Villeneuve.
I don't think you said his name right.
I did.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did you pronounce it, Dallas?
Didn't even.
What up, Dennis? How you doing? Anyway,
No, Demi did do it right because she cares about
Getting people's names
not
right.
insulting people. Also, that's not an insult. It's just a fun way to say Villeneuve. Dennis, though, Colin, that's just disrespectful. His name is not Dennis.
What are you guys expecting from this version of Dune? Are you excited for it? Do you care? What's up?
No and no.
Yeah.
But
goddamn.
I do think it looks good. It's one of those movies that I watch the trailer and I think, cool cast, the effects look good. It looks like a good movie. I just don't care. I don't really find it to be that intriguing for me.
It's not your vibe.
Not my vibe. I'll see it if Kayla wants to see it.
It's on HBO Max. You could just sit here.
Yeah, but
Right, but you can
I
use
got
that time
shows
to
to
do other
watch.
things.
Still haven't started Dear White People.
We have reviews to do, Dallas.
You're going to review Dune. Colin's going to review Dune. I'm going to come in for the What You've Been Watching section. Talk about whatever show I've finished at the time.
We may never see Gabby again.
Gabby's
Oh, so Colin, now you're on our side about that.
contract is expired.
I want to believe that we will. I
want to
just, I
believe.
don't know.
This isn't
Yeah,
the
this is
X-Files,
an
Colin.
X-Files.
She's a human person that, as far
I
as we
mean-
know, still exists.
That's just it, right?
Or she was a collective hallucination.
Yeah, you know?
What are you expecting from the next installment?
Okay, here's the thing. The book was boring.
Mm.
This 80s movie slaps. I think we're going back to boring again. I think the problem is that this movie is going to play everything straight in a way that the 80s movie may have been trying to do but didn't. I don't think anyone's going to talk about milking a cat. I just, it's because the thing is, I think the story of Doom is pretty dull. And so having that told straight is going to be dull for me. But I don't like it very much. So I'm expecting this movie to look good. I'm not expecting to go, oh, this was great. It's just like, oh, yeah, okay, that's Paul. He's doing his shit.
Sorry, Colin, I have to correct you. You said milking a cat. What you meant was milking a smooth little cat.
No, I
No.
didn't. I actually
Colin,
didn't.
you need to be accurate when you refer to this movie. Accuracy is key.
Mm,
He said smooth little cat's body, Colin. You show this movie some respect.
Dear God.
I don't want people to think that I endorse that scene or that phrasing.
I'm just saying you can't misquote Space Vlad the Impaler or whatever his name is.
I just did. What's he gonna do?
Impale you.
He did.
Milk you. I don't know. To me.
Okay.
Thoughts. What are you expecting? You're excited.
I am actually very
Yeah.
excited about this. I am a fan of Denis Villeneuve's work. I saw Sicario in theaters. Sicario was great. But also just like he makes like really epic space movies. Or like really epic sci-fi movies. I'm sorry, let
Right.
me correct myself. Really epic sci-fi movies. Because you've got Arrival, which,
Arrival slaps.
yes, Arrival's amazing, which is why I was nominated for so many Oscars. But that's like a totally different type of sci-fi from like Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
It's also a very incredible film.
Shout out to Joy.
Anna Darmus, what's up? I love Blade Runner 2049. I loved watching that in theaters. I thought it was fantastic. So yeah, I'm excited about him doing another sci-fi film, and it happens to be Dune. And Dune is more of a, like we said, Star Wars was very much influenced by Dune.
Right.
Star Wars is my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, this feels like it's definitely my jam. I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast before, but I'm a huge fan of Timothée Chalamet. I actually think he's a very fantastic actor. I think he's really good.
How have you never said that? The amount of times that we talk about this man and Colin gets his name wrong on purpose.
On purpose.
You never talked about that. Pause for what is this, Colin? What is this? I know what you said. God, the internet is terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm a
Yeah,
fan of his.
Why you never rapping for Big Tim?
We never talk
You
about his
let me
movies.
sit here and call him Jimothy Chevrolet every time.
Well, yeah, just the same way that I let people misname Benedict Cumberbatch. I think it's
So
funny.
then, are you excited for the dick vein in the slavery movie?
Oh no.
Am I excited for Wonka? I don't know yet. Right now I have actual.
Oh my god. The Oompa Loompa songs are gonna be spirituals.
They're gonna be slave songs.
Guys,
What do you get when you wade in the water? Oh no! Don't make the movie, guys. Don't do it. Don't make this movie. Just stop. It's okay. We don't need it.
Jesus.
Uh,
I don't even know how to continue from where we were. I like his work. I really enjoyed his performance in Little Women. Yeah, I think he's a really good actor. And this is the first time he's made a movie that I am like genuinely like interested in. Like it feels like it's in my wheelhouse. Like I wanted to see Little Women because I had heard it was a good movie.
right.
But this is like I'm excited to see Dune because I love sci-fi movies.
Right. It's a sci-fi action.
Yeah.
Great cast. Zendaya's in it. Jason Momoa's in it.
And Villeneuve's like visual style. Oh my gosh.
Excuse you. I believe Jason Momoa is none other
Oh, here we go.
than Duncan, Idaho.
Oh, he's Duncan, Idaho?
Think so, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know who the character was.
Yes, and Josh Brolin is playing Gurney, which is Patrick
Gurney.
Stewart's
Forgot
character.
there was a character named Gurney.
That's Patrick Stewart's character.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure if
Hey, yo, Demi, who's playing the doctor?
I actually don't know.
Interesting.
I just remember these off from the trailer,
I
like
just
the
want to know
names.
who's gonna shout tooth over and over.
I hope that doesn't happen.
it better.
But yeah, I love his visual style. Everything like I said, Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 are not only great movies, but like visually just stunning. I already have my ticket to see it in IMAX. I'm so stoked to see what this looks like on the biggest screen I can possibly find.
Oh yeah.
Because it looks like it's one of those movies that should be seen on a screen as big as you can find. So I'm going to, and I'm excited about that. And like I said, I like Chosen One stories. This feels like everything about this movie feels like it's right up my alley. So I'm super excited about it.
I feel it. I like that. I love that for you.
Yeah, I anticipate that I will probably understand it and find it a little bit more enjoyable at the very least than this one.
To be fair, it seems like for you that bar is pretty low, so I think you'll be okay.
I think this is such a great example of like the differences in creative differences because Colin loves the 1984 mess, and I say that with love. Like it's a fun mess.
It is. It's
It
a fun
wasn't
mess.
fun for me, but it's a fun mess for people. And Demi is like hyped about the 2021 more serious, better looking
Listen,
version.
it could have been campy, and I probably still would have been excited, but this one just looks.
It would be interesting to see like this cast and this director just do a camp version.
But also, this cast is legit.
It's a really good cast.
Like I said, I like Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
Zendaya's amazing. I love Zendaya. Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson. Like, there's a
Is
lot.
Rebecca Ferguson, Jessica?
Yes,
Oh, it's not. That's dope.
there's a lot of great actors in this movie, so I'm really hyped. Oh, Stellan Skarsgård is in it.
That's the old one, right?
Yeah,
Stellan.
the dad. Javier Bardem's in it.
Javier Bardem's in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Dave Bautista's in this movie.
Yes, he is. Batista is in this movie.
David Desmalchin's in this movie.
I actually didn't know that one. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's interesting because,
Polka Dot
like,
Man?
Dave Bautista is playing the nephew of Baron Harkonnen, who is not the same nephew that's in the book or the 80s movie.
So he's not playing Sting's character.
No.
No,
But
he's playing Robin. Or Raban, or however.
Oh, he's Raban?
Yeah.
Oh. They don't have Fade, do they? So Sting's character doesn't seem like he's in this movie.
Picturing that kid from Atlanta sitting in the classroom.
Oh, no.
He's in whiteface to me.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's all we've got for you guys today.
I think that's it. I think we've done enough.
And I don't think we've said anything different than anybody else who has watched this movie.
Excuse me. Our jokes are very original.
Our jokes are very good, though. Our opinions might not be very different from anybody else's, but our jokes are definitely spot on.
There isn't anything. Ain't nothing. All right.
Tune in next time when we will be reviewing Dune.
Yes.
Not to be confused with
Dune.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Dune based on Dune. This is Dune based on Dune. Dune. All right. Thank you, audience, for listening to us play around for however long we've been here. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon, and I for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing and putting us on YouTube. And, trying to nudge us back on the rails every once in a while in this episode.
Somebody has to.
It was a tough one. It's funny thing, speaking of somebody has to. Colin, thank you for enjoying this movie.
Yeah.
Somebody has to. Audience, what'd you think of Dune? Have you seen it? Did you finish it? If so, congrats. Let us know in the comments or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. If you want to make more jokes about this silly movie, find me on Twitter and Instagram at A King Named Simba, and we can talk about it.
You can find me on Twitter at DuckMcGuck.
If you guys want to talk to me about sci-fi movies, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thanks again for joining us.
And you can find our recurring guest, Gabby, on the medias. She gave me her Twitter and her Instagram. Her Twitter is Smooth Little Pussycat. Hold for applause.
Dear God. Colin's dying next to me.
Or you can find her on Instagram at Nicki Melange.
Very nice.
Thank you. It's been different. Bye.
Hey guys, I think that this is the most that Colin's ever spoken in a podcast.
Oh, 100%.
That's true.
Without question.